Hey guys, welcome to my latest project. So today we are in a 2005 Lexus Gx470. I've wanted one of these for a while and I came across a deal on one, so I purchased it. I've been talking through a few differences between this thing and my previous Land Cruiser, which was an 80 series, which is the holy grail of Land Cruisers, and why I've always wanted one of these. And then I'm going to show you some cool stuff in the interior. So first of all, this thing is a 2005, so it's 17 years old, and it has less wind noise than my 2021 Jeep Gladiator. It's phenomenally quiet and refined in here. I don't know if you can hear that from the speaker on this phone, the microphone on this phone, but it's very smooth. Very little road noise. These tires are old, and very little wind noise, and all these door seals are old and everything, so that's just a huge plus. But to compare it to my 80 series Land Cruiser, so the 80 series ended in 1997. This one started in 2003 ish. The Gx470 did. So there's been some improvements. The main thing I like about it is it's got a V8. As much as I love the straight six in that Land Cruiser, it had a distributor on it, which meant that it was constantly getting water in the distributor off-road, and that caused a lot of problems. This is individual coil packs, so that's not going to be an issue. Also, this has a 5-speed automatic transmission. That was the first time it got a 5-speed was in 2005. So before that, this motor didn't have variable valve timing and had a 4-speed transmission, which meant it was less efficient and it had like 40 less horsepower. Oddly enough, when I got on this thing today, I was driving it in the wrong position and I thought I only had 4 gears and I wasn't getting very good gas mileage, and I realized I had it in 4. So yeah, you can lock it in any gear, and you can also do second gear start, which is cool. My 80 series had that. So it's got a V8, it's got an extra gear in the transmission, and it's independent front suspension. That's the downside. Obviously I love a solid axle, and this thing doesn't have factory lockers. But I'm gonna throw some ARB lockers in it, and it'll be just as good as the ones that were in my Land Cruiser. But yeah, independent front suspension sucks off-road, especially these. They're very limited, maybe like 6.5 inches of travel stock. So, you know, you put some long travel coilovers and some nice upper control arms, you can get a lot more travel out of them, which I'll do eventually. But it's got 3 rows like the Land Cruiser, the 80 series I had. So very big, spacious, and luxurious. It's got this similar light colored, beautiful Lexus premium leather. It's got a much better sound system than my 80 series. It's got a factory backup camera and sat nav, which is great. A lot of modern touches like that. So it's got a lot more features, modern features than my 80 series did. It's just lacking the really big beefy front axle and the factory lockers. And of course you can't throw 35s in this thing stock, but you can do it with some mods. So far really happy with it. AC blows ice cold. This is electrical center console. You know, the AC is controlled by the touch screen, so that could wreak havoc in water and stuff. So we'll see how long that lasts. But so far everything works on it. It's got variable ride height rear suspension. It's got live valve, essentially, adjustable stiffness, and it makes a difference. Cruise control works. It's got auto headlights. It's got a 115 volt outlet somewhere. I haven't found it yet. It's got heated seats, center diff lock functionality. It's got this nice screen up here which shows you your average economy. We've almost gotten 20 miles per gallon so far on this 50-mile drive. But it also gives you instantaneous, your range, your average speed, your barometer, your altitude. That doesn't seem to work. And your elapsed time, so if you're driving for an hour. And your temperature outside. So that's a lot of nice features. It's got a compass up here on the mirror, auto dimming rear mirror. It's got sunglass holder. It's got the dual visor set up, so when you have it to the side, you can have it to the front as well. Sunroof, home link system. It's got just about everything. It's also got a mechanical handbrake, which I think is going to be funny to try to grab the handbrake and do front wheel drive burnouts because it's all wheel drive. I think it has a Torsen center differential though, so that might make the center diff angry. I got underneath the truck. It's in pretty good shape. It does have some oxidation and some rust. It's been a Florida car its whole life, but it's done some road trips through salt, I suspect. So nothing too terrible, some surface rust. But yeah, I'm gonna probably leave it alone until it starts failing. I suspect the air suspension will go out first, it'll get water in it. And then I'm gonna wanna raise the front up because it's very low and saggy right now. So once I do that, I'm gonna get rid of this fancy suspension system, unfortunately. But we're gonna see how long it lasts. I might try to find a way to stiffen up the front end, put a spring spacer to get the front a little higher and leave it the way it is and see how long the suspension survives on it. It's already lasted 200,000 miles, so it might as well just last forever. It does have some modern safety features, which come in handy if you're me. It has side curtain airbags. Those have saved me from a lot of pain in the past, so that's nice. Yeah, it's a pretty hilarious vehicle. Mechanical transfer case, you don't see those anymore.
In a quarter mile, use the right 2 lanes to turn right onto US 17 North, US 92 East.
Let me see if I can find some music to let you listen to. The stereo has been pretty excellent. It actually has bass, unlike the 80 series, which had a really pathetic stereo. Let's see where the bass drops. Oh yeah, here we go. Pretty awesome.